This AskReddit user asks, "What's the most illegal thing you've done?" I turned right with my left indicator on once. You are monster. Broke into an elderly woman's house to steal a doll. This is in the early 90s. My cousins and I used to take care of her yard. General gardening and stuff like that. She was so amazing and so quick-witted despite being in her early 90s. Her dipshit son and his wife decided they wanted mommy's house and shipped her to a care facility with nothing but a few clothes. Then they put up yard sale, estate sale signs all over the town. They were just going to sell all of her belongings and then the house. Cousins and I stole every sign we could find and chucked them in the garbage. Then we went to her house and got in through an unlocked window. We got one of her most precious possessions, a handmade doll her mother gave her when she was 4. It had real human hair and the same handmade clothes her mother made for it. We also found some art pieces she made from woven hair when she was younger. We took what we carry back to her in the care facility. But she told my aunt to take the doll and keep it safe. She had a fall that year and broke her leg and hip. Never recovered. RIP Miss C. I miss you. Was never caught and would never do any of this these days. Drug dealing. Carrying an offensive weapon in public. DUI. This is the only one I'm really ashamed of. It was once when I was 18 and I felt sick with myself the day after. Breaking and entering. Ding dong, ditched a neighbor's house. Crazy dad ran after me. Caught me. And slammed me into the ground. I was 14. Waited a week and tossed 8 quarts of used motor oil. And a dead goose into their pool. The goose was roadkill and an afterthought. I feel like slamming a 14-year-old into the ground for a harmless prank is the most illegal thing in this reply. I get his anger over a doorbell being rung at 1 but this meatball straight dropped me. Head bounced off the sidewalk. My arms and legs were so scuffed up. I wasn't even the one who rang the bell. I was across the street cracking up when my friend did. Had the same thing, but the dude hit my friend with his car. He had been waiting for the kid to ring his doorbell on our way to school in his car. Just plowed through him as he tried to run away. The kid hit got suspended and had to pay for the damage caused to the man's car. I'm pretty much squeaky clean in terms of crime. But as a dumb 12-year-old discovering my body and sexuality, I googled for PN with people my age in it. Never found any. Of course. I didn't realize that it was wrong at the time because I obviously just wanted to explore people my own age and wasn't really attracted to older people because I was a kid. Police and my dad got involved. It was a whole thing. I recall my dad initially being disgusted with me until he realized he was looking at it from his adult perspective rather than mine. And that I was just figuring stuff out. I ripped CDs. Blew a cop to avoid getting arrested. Well, apparently that is legal in like 30 states. You either blow it or you blew it. Look, you can blow the breathalyzer or you can blow the cop. Take your pick. Around 8 or 9 years ago, I crossed the India-Pakistan border and ran back. I could have been shot if I was spotted. I tried to cross the Nepal-India border without a proper visa and I thought the Indians were going to murder me. The Nepalese border guards knew what I was doing and seemed to find it amusing. I had to do similar as my visa didn't allow multiple entries. But I just flat out bribed the Indian border guards. I remember putting the cash in my passport as I handed it over thinking this could either go very well or very, very badly. Thankfully money talks in India and we were waved through with smiles. Instead of taking 1 to 2 candies from the bowl, I took 5. I had a steady delivery job in the 1980s in college. 2-hour drive. $5. cash. I had a friend of a friend offer me double that to take a vacation to El Paso, Texas while I was in college in 2008. That was hard to turn down. But 7 states and 2,000 miles each way. 4 days of 12 hours straight driving without doing anything stupid to get pulled over just seemed like a sure way to get myself a long sentence in the federal penitentiary. You're making $5,000 and only giving me $300? Wait, you guys are getting paid? I was walking my dog through a local park and a swan went crazy and started trying to attack me and my dog. So I circled round it and kicked it up the AE. It flew for a good 20 feet before landing. It was okay and unharmed. Here in Britain, kicking swans is a big no-no. But it attacked my dog. I have no regrets. I've notified the Queen. You'll soon be deported to a less civilized county where swan kicking is legal. Probably France. France? That would be cruel and unusual punishment. I suggest 4 months in Luton or alternatively 2 years in the outskirts of HL. They're about even. Even worse. Australia. Went on Club Penguin without mom's permission. You sick FK. Shoplifting, jaywalking, genocide, ya know. The usual stuff. Yeah. That's pretty basic. Username checks out. With the missing commas that seems like one terrible mega crime. More like what is the most illegal thing you would admit doing on the internet. Right? I feel like the most honest people are the ones admitting to stuff they did 20 years ago. Not many people are gonna admit to something that happened last month. Jerked off naked in the woods behind our house. I think that's illegal. Did you walk outside naked with the intention of jerking off? 'Cause if I saw that happen, I wouldn't even call the cops. I'd be afraid of the destruction a man of such courage could do to a police force. Seriously. Where was that man during the protests? He could have defunded entire departments with a single tug. I was working at fast food restaurant and I was cleaning the dining room and found a little bag with a black paste. Was not wax. And offered it to the cook because he smoked wax and he said, "Oh man, that's not wax. That's something too crazy for me, just get rid of it," and so I did. Lol, how sweet of you. Some noise black tar to start the day. What's that, some form of heroin? Non-American here. Definitely helped smuggle like 300 pills into an event with a push-up bra over 10 years ago. Ah. To be young. I did the same thing in a sunscreen bottle. Sometimes I think back about how FD I'd be if someone found out. Like life-changing kinda FD. Oh man. Yeah. I definitely have considered that, and it's a terrifying thought. I did it one more time at another event. Didn't count on them yanking at tops and bras. But they totally did. Just as a corner of the pill bag poked out. The security guard turned around to answer a question from someone on her team. My friend was the only one to notice. She grabbed my hand and we nearly sobbed in a corner together. Never did that again. Lol. St you do to make memories EY. I'd bottle it if I got dared to steal bread now. The sum totality of all the media and programs I've pirated would probably bankrupt a small country. Yeah, I pirate stuff too. AAARRRRGH. Kinda makes you realize how much money is made from bullshit, doesn't it? I'm not saying intellectual property itself is bullshit. But that by using someone else's work, media companies can basically print money on the premise of letting you access this person's work. Let me put it like this. How much has your life been made better because you could pirate things? I don't mean financially. Just in terms of personal experience. Nice try fed. LMFAU aw, he tired to get us. Nice one. I downloaded a car. You wouldn't. I rewatched Terminator 1 on DVD. And before the movie it had that PSA. Thank God for skip button. That's actually one of my favorite PSAs. It's stupid nostalgic too, so I don't mind. I work with the disabled. If I have to bend the truth a bit on a piece of paperwork in order to get someone the help they need. HL yeah, I'm gonna do it. This is all hypothetical, of course. The system here is so fair and balanced that I obviously never ever have done such a thing. So the first sentence clearly isn't an admittance to anything. As someone with Asperger's. Thanks. I got told during a hearing for Medicaid that I was too good at social skills to have any form of autism. Shitty psych eval was shitty. People like you are often the only thing keeping people who need to be in the system taken care of. So many failures that let people who need help slip through. And let people who are fine and dandy get in. I once gave a friend an account of the previous night's game without the express written consent of the National Football League. Bruh. I stole a bottle of Coke from a petrol station by accident. It was tucked in the crook of my arm while I paid for my petrol and a host of other stuff, and I just forgot to put it on the counter. The guy behind the till didn't notice either though, so. You nearly needed my cousin Vinny. At what point did you shoot the clerk? Quote. 2 Utes. I broke into a women's prison. Got a flat on the freeway. And what I thought was a motel on the other side of a chain-link fence was actually a minimum security correctional facility. How long were you wandering around in there for? I would like an answer to this as well. Just out of curiosity. What happened next? That time when I was homeless and was squatting in an abandoned ruin with my mom, my stepdad and the rest of my family. For years. Even during those 6 when I was homeless. I had ambitions to be a game designer. My stepdad would provide the necessities. But he recognized my ambition, so he helped me by giving me a few cannabis plants, of which the harvest could bring together enough money to buy a laptop with. I tended the plants all summer. They grew really well, especially with all that nice hot natural sun they were getting in South France. Unfortunately, 1 week before harvest the local police confiscated the plants. Didn't get arrested, though. Didn't even come for a visit or give any warnings. They just scouted out the spot where I was growing the plants and took them. The bastards probably harvested and smoked it. I didn't say bless you when a coworker sneezed. You joke, but my manager gets mad at stuff like that. It's pretty annoying. Smooth criminal plays in the background. Did Loki threaten to kill you? 25 years ago I stored 15 pounds of Mexican brickweed in my freezer for 1 month for a friend. I'm squeaky clean now, but that was some pound me in the AS prison time back then if I got caught. When you said brickweed I was thinking it was the absolute garbage that gets called soap. But that's a lot of weed. Mexican brickweed used to come super compressed. I can't believe I used to smoke that stuff lol. Honestly. I found some mids from an old school stoner a few months back and bought a pound for nearly nothing. It made some decent hash. About 15 years ago I was pulled over for speeding. As I signed the ticket, I had a quarter pound of marijuana under my seat that I had just purchased for my wheelchair-bound stepfather. Have a good day, officer. Quote. Another time I mailed said stepfather 2 ounces of hydroponic MJ across state lines via USPS. Took a while to package that up. Of course no return address. I'm not that stupid. And yes, he actually received it with no issue. Family. I tell ya. For what it's worth, I'm a little smarter about my bad decisions these days. Stole a honey bun from a corner store once. Oh. Wanna FK around with honey buns huh? Enjoy jail. Buddy. I stole Sinkers from a mall once and ate it with my brother. Was a child back then. It was very big thing to steal from a mall though. Share half of it to Abu? With all the paperwork involved and the possible consequences if not done properly or paid in time. Filing my taxes feels like step dancing on a legal minefield. Why can't America have a simple tax system like every other developed country in the world? Thank TurboTax and H&R Block. I feel like they're trying to trap you. I was mind-boggled by this with my German cousins. They were going through all their stuff collecting up receipts and bills and saw how perplexed I was. They were like, yes, but if we do this and send it off, we can get some of our tax back. I'm guessing it's optional over there. What I was trying to explain was that I was perplexed because here, if you are an employee, they do that math for you and I just get a check without even expecting anything. They just couldn't imagine it. Germany has a progressive tax rate. You get a check with the math based on your actual salary. However, there might be expensive which reduce your taxable income, like donations. So you submit all your expenses and get some of the taxes back. It is optional, but you give away a lot of money. And we are all penny pincher over here. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos.